Hi, and welcome to another episode of Kyle's Collection. Yeah, today we're in the reading corner. Super comfortable and not cramped at all. And we're going to be talking about Nintendo Power. We've got not every issue, but the vast majority of them, as well as a number of official Nintendo Power strategy guides. For those completely in the dark, this is what you did before the internet. You could read these books and learn all about what games were already available, which ones were coming out, which were good, which were bad. And I'm not going to pretend like my collection is really that valuable or important. Some are in good condition, some are far from mint, lacking covers, taped at the spine. This is actually a Super Mario Bros. 3 strategy guide, if you can believe it. I got a lot of my garage sales, and I was kind of just happy to get whatever magazines filled in the blank spaces. And then some of them I got through subscriptions or from the grocery store when I was a kid. And had that been the case, like I buy them, I read them, and I keep them in my collection, they'd be in good shape. The problem is, well, here's a little sketch to explain.
Hey, brah, what you reading there?
Oh, I'm just reading this Nintendo Power magazine. It's the biggest issue ever. Hey, wanna borrow it?
Yeah, sure. Looks awesome. Hey man, I finally found that magazine I borrowed. Yeah, here. Have it back.
Anyway, sob stories aside, the purpose of this video, as you can tell from the title, is that we are going to talk about the greatest issue of Nintendo Power of all time. Yes. Now, you might say, Kyle, that's subjective. I disagree. I think that the greatest issue of Nintendo Power is pretty much set in stone. But before we get to that, I would like to talk about something a little less definitive, the second best issue of Nintendo Power, and that is Volume 94. Yes, this is the issue that introduced the world to Turok, Dinosaur Hunter, and I thought, hey, it might be fun before, getting the big reveal to talk about this, kind of walk through it a little bit. So right off the bat, the artwork on the table of contents is just breathtaking. Turok silhouetted against the setting sun. Awesome. In fact, I don't think I've seen this render or scenario anywhere else, so this is pretty unique. You got your power charts, Mario 64, Legend of Zelda, Link's Awakening, and actually it's kind of surprising that DKC 3 is actually in number 1. I'm sure that didn't last, because if I recall, A Link to the Past pretty much dominated these charts. Okay, so right away, page 10, we're in Turok territory now. So, what we have here is a partial walkthrough. As I described at the top of the video, that's something that happened a lot. They would show you part of the game, and then maybe continue in the next issue, maybe not. I think it depended how important the game was. Actually, looking a little closer, this goes all the way up to the final confrontation. Huh. Can't be very thorough. Okay, so next up we got FIFA. Oh, here we go. Mario Kart 64 Time Trials. This is a neat little article that shows a lot of places where you can do power slides and take little shortcuts to maximize your efficiency. I love the nice overhead artwork of the tracks. That's something I don't know if people appreciate as much as they used to see this stuff rendered like this. I know we got video channels like Boundary Break and stuff now that kind of just cover that, show you far more than Nintendo Power ever did, but at the time it was kind of a novelty to get this bird's eye view of the actual in-game graphics. Oh, this is a piece of history here. This is the Mario Kart 64 Nintendo Power Cup. Basically, you had to get a really good score on Mario's Raceway. There was this little cardboard thing you can send in with a picture of your final score, the driver used, your time written down. This is great stuff. There's instructions for how to take a proper picture, because this is us, taking a picture of an old tube TV probably. This is before, phones. We'd probably have to get a little disposable camera. And the prize, of course, is one of 1,000 golden Nintendo 64 controllers. I should probably look those up on eBay. Not that I'm going to buy one, I'm just curious. Again, just a solid lineup of tips here. You have Donkey Kong Country 3 Dixie Kong's Double Trouble, which was fairly new at the time, obviously. And there's cheat codes for starting the game with 50 lives, accessing the sound test, changing the color of the characters. This is neat stuff. Wave Race 64, they got the exact steps to take to ride on the dolphin instead of the jet ski. And also it explains how to see penguins and whales, just really neat stuff. Tetris Attack has level warps. Can't do without those. Now we're talking Doom 64 on page 40. Doom. Yeah, so we've already had Turok, but that's not enough first-person shooter action. We gotta talk about Doom, too. Moving along, we got Killer Instinct Gold. This has some codes, it looks like. Yeah, to access the options. I mean, who needs a code for that? But more importantly, we've got different characters and different moves that are strategically viable. Like here we have Maya's cheap moves. I guess the writer of this article got beaten by Maya a few too many times, eh? You can even learn how to do Tusk's 23-hit combo. That's information you can take to your grave. Oh, whoa, and the moves keep coming. They fold right out. And also, if this move guide wasn't cool enough, you also got a FIFA, whatever. Now we're entering into the Epic Center. The Epic Center was a section where they spoke about RPGs. RPGs are fun to certain people, not me so much. Sorry. Look at this. Earthbound 64 on page 52. I'm not a big Earthbound guy, but I am very intrigued by this, like, path untraveled for Nintendo. This game looked ambitious. Gosh, there's like some creature hanging from a tree like he couldn't handle life anymore. That's brutal. Geez, Harvest Moon, the Epic Center is on fire today. Harvest Moon's a winner, man. For Super Nintendo, this was the shit. Well, it's even got the dates of the festivals. It's got the different marriage prospects. If only we all had a Nintendo Power for our lives. Then you could, like, not waste time pursuing those women that'll never give you the time of day. You just look in the guide. Oh, here are my prospects. Why am I giving roses to Shelly when it's clearly Maria who I can actually date? This issue, the hits keep on coming. It's just non-stop gold from start to finish. So you're probably thinking at this point, hey, wow, if the second best issue is like this, how much cool shit is in the best issue of all time? Well, we're going to get to that. And don't worry, if you're looking at the runtime down there thinking like, is he going to have enough time? I am. The Super Game Boy reawakens a legend in a new eye-opening way. The Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening. You have a pre-rendered 3D map of the island from the Game Boy game. And it shows all the different instruments. Like, you never see that. Okay, now on page 70, we have Disney's The Hunchback of Notre Dame. Skip. Oh, and now we have the Nintendo Power Award nominations for 1996. Now, granted, they don't reveal the winners here. This is just the nominations. But along with this selection of games, man, some just gorgeous renders. That's like a lost art these days. Kind of in-game graphics look basically so good you don't need renders. Like, there's no appeal to them. You just do artwork now, right? But Boba Fett, man. Boba Fett. Why is Boba Fett here? Oh, easiest to learn, toughest to master awards. The second nomination is Star Wars Shadow of the Empire. And Mario 64, you know that? Nintendo Power, you're on to something there. You have no idea where the speed running scene of Super Mario 64 would one day go. Look at that, they got even the bears from Dixie Kong's Double Trouble. You just don't see that kind of stuff anymore. Like, you literally don't see these bears anymore. They're just in the one game. And this is the Beat the Boss special for Super Mario RPG, which again, just gorgeous renders of every boss, plus their HP, plus their weaknesses and such, and tips on how to beat them. Man, this game had some weird bosses, eh? Like, very cool designs, but just weird. I forgot about Countdown, the giant clock with table legs. A more formidable foe has never been faced. Now in the counselor's corner, just more general tips, like people are asking, where the hell's the wrench? And this guy here, Travis Williams, he's got the answers. Page 94, now playing. This was always the worst section of the magazine because the Nintendo Power editors would often give first-party Nintendo titles a lot more leeway than third-party. Really, it's just anything to sell more games. This is the worst review section in any of the magazines at the time. If you want a fair opinion, you'd go to EGM or GamePro. So in the arena, they got challenges for Mario 64, Wave Race 64, and Wayne Gretzky's 3D Hockey. I'm sure people submitted scores to at least the first two. Okay, here's what I'm talking about. Page 100, save the best for last. We got Zelda 64, exclusive first look. I know the final game looks a million times better, but just seeing this for the first time was just so amazing. Like, I remember my imagination going into overdrive, just looking at these little handful of pictures and just imagining what the greater world around it looked like, what the objective was, all that kind of fun stuff. Also on the pack watch, we've got F-Zero returning. I'm guessing this is F-Zero X? No, this is F-Zero in Japan for the Satellaview, however you say that, Satellaview game system. Wow, features new cars and one all-new race course. One all-new. There's only one, but it's all new. We also touch upon Kirby's Air Ride, which we wouldn't be seeing for quite some time, and Chameleon Twist, which is a personal favorite of mine. Next issue, we've got more Turok and more Doom. But in the meantime, you can keep yourself busy with these, oh yeah, Mario Kart 64 trading cards. I mean, they're not really trading cards since you have the whole set here. There's no incentive to trade with others. Wow, you've got all the driver data and everything on the back. This is nice stuff. And finally, you end with a nice ad for how great N64 is, complete with renders. This is just cover to cover, the second best issue of Nintendo Power ever written. So now let's talk about the best issue. Right here, volume 155, James Bond on the front, but that's not the reason. I know you're definitely looking at the time code thinking, there's no way he's going to cover this with such depth. Maybe he's saving it for another video, but that's false advertising. Nor is it necessary. I can explain why this is objectively the best issue in just, well, I don't know the exact timing, but it won't take long. All you need to do is flip to page 14. It starts and ends here, top middle, Kyle Van Dongen, Sheik and Link. That's just stunning. It's just breathtaking. Nintendo Power should be honored to have such a fantastic piece featured in their publication. If anything, it should be sitting in the Louvre. Yes. No.